right? So it's like this is the biggest metal has ever been. Period. That's the
Yeah.
biggest stage internationally for metal ever. It was epic. It's amazing. It's so good for metal. It's so good that it's Gojira.
Yeah.
And there isn't a single person I've spoken to, seen on the internet anywhere who says this isn't epic as shit. This is just so unique and cool.
Yeah.
And every metalhead on the planet is just
we all
happy.
like as a metal. Yeah, every metalhead kind of feels like you're getting something out of that. Like if you don't appreciate that, you're gatekeeping. Nobody. Like
you're one of the people we don't want in metal.
Yeah.
Like, probably a Misfits fan walking around with too much shit on, and
you're not in this for the music. You're not in this for any other reason, just to try and seem cool or some shit. That's so epic, man. That's so fucking epic. Amazing. Let's get into it. Everyone else has been reacting to this, so why not us?
Let's do it.
I mean, for once, it's something right up our alley. It's nice when
our music is on the front stage right now. This is the most prime time our music has ever gotten, ever. Period.
Yeah.
Everybody's talking about it. Everybody I talked to is like, "Who was that?" And I'm like, "That's Gojira. We saw him last summer. It was great." Right. So it's like this is the biggest metal has ever been. Period. That's the biggest stage internationally for metal ever. It was epic. It's amazing. It's so good for metal. It's so good that it's Gojira.
Yeah.
I
mean, God, I'd love to know the story behind why. I guess where it is.
I mean, it's all around so far. Like even outside of Gojira, like they're French aren't effing around here. That whole opening ceremony was pretty legit. And like, I mean, especially with this and like, especially that they allowed them to what they did here. I'm not going to talk about the setup here because it's too complicated for me to, I don't even understand it that well yet. But there is a lot going on here in this video and what they're doing with the setting. I advise anybody who's interested to look into it. It has to do with the history of France and every single opening, pretty much every single opening, performance had something tied to some sort of like French history, and this is one of them too. So if you're interested, go dive into it. We won't bother with that. We'll just stick to the music here. But they let them go all out. They didn't make them go soft. They let them go heavy, and it was epic as hell.
Which song do they pick for this? I haven't even seen.
I don't even know I don't know the name of the song. I'm not familiar with it, but what it sounds like, it just sounds like Gojira. That's what matters.
Interesting.
You know what I mean?
Was it off of which album was it off of? Do we know?
It's probably something new. I don't recognize it, but what I recognize is it's Gojira. Like it's not.
Yeah, I mean, my eyes just popped out of my head when they say Gojira. I haven't like gotten the chance to really like.
That's cool. So this is your first listen to it, all right?
Yeah. So that's why we don't know it, because it's not their song. It was I guess it's something that was popular during the French Revolution.
Okay, well that makes sense then. As I was saying, like all these opening sets were basically smothered in French history. So the fact that they went that deep with it is pretty impressive. The point is when you hear it, it sounds like Gojira.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They made it Gojira. It doesn't matter, So
even as a Gojira fan, like you're never gonna have heard this otherwise.
No, but you'll know who it is when you hear it. That's the thing. So and just to point out, like, I'll talk about it more a little bit later, but my wife, I've been with her for 15 years and she doesn't like metal at all, but she liked this. And we'll cover the song that she now apparently likes by them after seeing this. We'll cover that.
I feel like it might have taken 10 years, but I feel like it's like 15. Slowly coming, whatever it is. It's slowly coming around.
Well, she speaks French. They're French. They're cool. This is epic. It's the Olympics, so now it's cool.
I think I've talked to her about Gojira before because of their French albums. I think she translated some of Levant Sauvage.
This is our way of getting her in. Yeah, So finally, she said, well, I'll say it now. She says she liked Silvera. So that's no joke, man. It's real metal. So that's the point of this, man. Yeah. That's how epic this is you're getting people's untrained eyes onto it, whether they like it or not. And there isn't a single person I've spoken to, seen on the internet anywhere who says this isn't epic as shit. Nobody dislikes this, man.
That's what Gojira is, though, right? Just epic metal, right?
Well, it's cool for French because, like, it's probably their biggest export artistically, right? It has to be. Gojira has to be their biggest artistic export.
Really?
Well, I don't know. Name somebody else. I mean, I guess we're not good with like pop shit.
Yeah,
like,
that's what it is.
Who else matters?
We're not really a good. France? Yeah, I don't know.
So the way I would explain it, and this is this isn't fair to Gojira, but to people who have no idea, I'm like, it's like the French Rammstein, right? Who are actually like better at music, That's the way it feels to like an American, right?
Yeah.
Maybe that's a bad thing to say. Like I'm gonna get shit on for saying that, but like whatever. If you're a completely untrained ear, untrained eye, whatever, you don't know anything about metal, that's the easiest way to explain them to somebody in America. It's like they're the French Rammstein, but they're actually making music. Not that Rammstein didn't, but Gojira makes better music.
This is true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Rammstein, if there was a thing in Germany or wherever the hell they're from,
yeah,
like their thing their Olympic performance would have been just as epic. Not as good music, but it would have been just as epic.
Yeah, I mean, there's no question. Like, I think Gojira is like maybe more artistic in a sense, or maybe more original in a sense, or something.
More good, like instrument, like artists. Yeah.
Was Gojira the biggest metal band before this? Like modern metal band before this happened? Like they definitely are now, right? Like I think it's like no doubt about it that Gojira's got to be the biggest metal band.
You think?
Right now, right? Like modern metal band, yeah, right?
Yeah, probably.
Like just did, at least after the Olympics. Like now everyone knows
who
they are.
Now they're the biggest. Yeah.
Like
right now they're the biggest band on the planet.
Yeah. So like if they weren't, they might have been before, but they definitely are now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I almost can't see any other band making sense. Obviously, based
as far
on
as I'm concerned, it's basically been Lamb of God until this.
Yeah, it feels that way to us, but I don't know if that's really the case. It's hard to tell.
True. I guess Meshuggah always was bigger, I suppose.
Gojira, yeah, Meshuggah's hard too, though, right? Because like I feel like Meshuggah's not. Like Meshuggah seems like they're not that well known, right? Like, but they are. Like to us, they are. But like, they're one of those bands. Like,
they're not that big a deal to me, to be honest with you. But it seems like they're a big deal to everybody else. But to me, God seems like they're way bigger than Meshuggah. They should be.
Like usually, like Meshuggah is kind of like your favorite band's favorite band type of thing, right? That's usually what Meshuggah is. Like all the bands that you listen to, chances are they listen to Meshuggah. That's why Meshuggah is who they are.
Who the hell in metal doesn't listen to Lamb of God though?
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. There's no doubt about it. I think Lamb of
God. I mean, it's all the upper echelon.
Lamb of God's definitely
Lamb of God.
Lamb of God's definitely bigger than Meshuggah, but the thing is, I think technically, like on a technical level, Meshuggah's much like Meshuggah's done more influencing than Lamb of God has.
What? That's a bull. Okay, I don't agree. That's fucked.
Yeah, fine, but I think instrumentally, and I think in terms of like progressing metal, I think Meshuggah's done more than I think Meshuggah's done a lot for Lamb of God, to be honest.
That's fucked. I disagree. Whatever. I mean, I don't know the fucking ins and outs and the backgrounds and stuff. They're complete. I don't know. They're completely different things.
But Lamb of God's not like, and it's same with Gojira to some degree. Like they're great bands, but they're kind of just what works. Like they're very straightforward and
Lamb of God.
Yeah, they're not like
who else sounds like Lamb of God.
I mean, you can piece apart Lamb of God
because like Meshuggah and Gojira, so a completely tone deaf ear would say they sound the same. Nobody's. I mean, even a tone deaf ear would be able to tell Lamb of God. Well, I don't know how to say it, but like nobody sounds like Lamb of God at all. Gojira and Meshuggah sound similar enough that you could at least put them in that category, but nobody sounds like Lamb of God. I've never heard it. If somebody sounds like Lamb of God, hook me up. I'm down to listen.
That's tough. Yeah, you're right. I mean, fair enough. At least in terms of that quality of it, yes, I'd agree. I think there's probably a lot of bands that probably sound a lot like Lamb of God. Again, like instrumentally, like they're same as Gojira in that they're very like just clear cut metal. That's what you get. Like,
but I think Lamb of God put that in your head because you've been listening to them for fucking 20 years. Like they originated that. They originated that sound. They've made that sound. They are that. Everyone says, "Oh, Pantera is this and In Flames is that," and they're the ones who like transitioned in the new era. And I hate that. It's Lamb of God who transitioned us into fucking real heavy metal. Pantera and In Flames kind of eased us in from the Metallica and all that shit. They eased us in from that. But Lamb of God really took it to that next level.
Here's the thing: like, there's a clear cut difference between like Pantera and even like Led Zeppelin and Metallica fans, like those kind of metal people. There's a clear cut difference between those people.
That's what I'm saying.
And Lamb of God fans and Gojira, like real metal, like.
No I think Lamb of God was a sort of that difference.
I like part of me doesn't like. I don't even put Metallica and Pantera and those kind of bands in the same room
That's my point. My
Gojira
point is
and
Lamb of God was the start of that difference. That's what I think. That's what I
Definitely
believe.
one of them. They're up there. But again, like I agree with you. I think in terms of putting the difference there, like into the mainstream, yes. I think Meshuggah is probably instrumentally the ones that push that. They're definitely up there. Like
Let's
in terms
watch
of
this
like
shit.
pushing that kind of like the heavy and that kind of the trajectory of where that kind of metal has kind of gone. I think Meshuggah's owed a lot more credit than people realize. But Lamb of God is obviously one of the top dogs for a long fucking time for a real reason.
Nobody knows 30 songs from Meshuggah. People know 1 or 2 or 3 or
Yeah.
4 or 5. Most metalheads know like 20 Lamb of God songs in their head.
Well, there's no doubt that Lamb of God has a much longer, like a much better discography overall, like than Meshuggah does. But again, Meshuggah suffers from this situation that kind of like they're kind of like Car Bomb, right? Where they're like you really have to dig to really appreciate them as a band. Like they're one of those ones that you can't just groove right into it and hop right in and have a whole lot of fun with it. Like it. Even now, like even for
Like
me,
most
like,
good metal is that though, and Lamb of God's the one exception that, and I guess Gojira now is it's a couple exceptions that are able to bridge both gaps where we like them and the masses like them too.
Gojira is interesting because like they feel like they were a little bit later to the party though, right? Like they I feel they aren't that late. Obviously, they came around what in like 2004, 2005, but they didn't really.
I think it was like 2016 they blew up. I'm trying to do some research.
Like they became a real like staple metal band. Probably, I want to say like 2014.
We never saw them at tours or anything. We never saw them at festivals until like 2016.
The first time we saw them, I think, was in 2015 or 16. When was Heavy Teal?
After Levant Sauvage.
Yes. Yeah.
Right. So 2015, Levant Sauvage came out. So like they didn't really blow up until after that, I don't think.
Yeah, Levant Sauvage was definitely their big uptick as a band. Definitely. For a reason though, that's probably their best album by quite a ways. Like in terms of front to back albums, Levant Sauvage is their best album.
Let's do it. Let's watch this shit.
Yeah, let's get into it. All right, let's check it out.
Fucking amazing, dude.
That's awesome, dude.
This is international, man. The whole world is watching, and they're like, "Who the hell is this?"
Yeah.
And we're over here, and I was thinking like the whole video, I'm sitting there smiling ear to ear. It's like, how often when you listen to metal are you smiling? You know, it's rare to smile when you're listening to metal. I'm just like ear to ear, like this is just so unique and cool.
Yeah,
and every metalhead on the planet is
we all happy. Like as a metalhead. Yeah, every metalhead kind of feels like you're getting something out of that. We're finally getting like some sunshine or something. Like
man,
getting some fucking respect around here. That's
nice. I was in the car today hoping somebody would notice. Unfortunately, we did. But it's like it's a community thing. It doesn't matter what you listen to in metal. If you're a metalhead, you appreciate that, and if you don't, you're probably a weirdo.
If you don't appreciate that, you're gatekeeping. You're
one of the people we don't want in metal.
Yeah.
Like, a Misfits fan walking around with too much shit on, and
you're not in this for the music. You're not in this for any other reason, just to try and seem cool or some shit. Yeah, that you gotta appreciate what that is. That's epic as hell. You know, even if like you're not like a Gojira fan, but you're in metal, like you still gotta feel like you're getting something out of it. You know what I mean?
You'd hope so. Yeah. I mean, I don't know how you. Yeah. I mean,
like,
how do you not like Gojira? But yeah, even if for some reason the tone doesn't work for you for Gojira, it's a community thing. It's for the community, man.
Yeah, it's a huge step for sure. Like
my wife now is down with a metal song, Silvera, which is not even that soft. So let's go. That's what it did for us.
Yeah,
that's what it did for us. And it's not just her, man.
Yeah, it makes it. Well, it also goes to show what it is. It's like once it's that wave of like the mainstream, like, oh, it's okay to like this now. And now people can like this. Now people that were acting like they didn't like it for so long, now they can act like they are okay with it because now it's apparently France did it, and that's why it's okay now.
It's definitely a bit of that.
Yeah, there's definitely some of that. But yeah, this is a good moment to move into this. But like for
whatever it takes, man. Whatever it takes.
You know, it's crazy that they didn't. I guess I don't know why they wouldn't turn that into an actual song after the fact. Like, why wouldn't they make that into an album somehow later or something?
Dude, considering how heavy it was, because they got him by the balls, right? It's like the Olympics comes to you, Gojira. Like, this is huge, right?
Yeah.
You do what they tell you to do, pretty much. Like, what are you gonna do? Say no?
Did the Olympics tell them to do that though, or did they? Like who?
Well, I don't.
Who does?
I have no idea how this gets set up, but like the fact, like France had to allow it,
Yeah.
especially to be broadcast.
Yeah.
Like somebody okayed it.
I mean, that's one hell of a. Yeah, like that's
Politicians
crazy.
Politicians there said yes, do this. Are awesome. It's happening. I don't know what's to talk about that, but we can just go into like real Gojira.
Yeah, for what it's worth. I mean, yeah. Well, again, you're not going to hear that anywhere, right? Because it's not a real song. They just covered, I guess, an old song out of France, I guess, and then made it epic as hell.
So, it sounds like, and I have to read the lyrics from that song, whatever. But like, because the visual you're seeing there is an historical reference.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to talk about it right now. I'm not educated enough on it.
Yeah, I glimpsed at it for a second there.
It was explained to me, so I understand. I can't. It's
basically. It sounds like it's based out of the French Revolution, right? Like it's basically referencing the French Revolution.
I don't even want to go. I don't even want to talk about because I'm not educated enough.
But that's what I read just looking at it, like at
right.
a glance.
So they made them play lyrics that are related to what you're seeing there.
Right, and
so there is a lot going on.
I think that's like the lady in the back being beheaded has something to do with it as well. Same with the blah 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 blah.
Exactly.
But
and the blood coming pouring out the windows is so metal, man.
But why wouldn't they run with that? If you're Gojira, like if you can get the rights to, I don't even know if you need the rights to that because that technically is they wrote that, right? Like they maybe took the idea from somewhere, but like can't you just,
dude,
where is that
so
song?
Like,
you have to put that on iTunes, God damn it.
You have to get some way up exec to know the details and how that shit comes together.
Knows?
It's insane.
Hey, we've got more Gojira coming for you next. Stay tuned.